All right, this is a very quick video again from MOSJARO. Of course, you know how we used to do it, analyzing some basic questions and points as regards chemistry. So if you know you are preparing for examinations, so that UTME, the SSCE, talking about the WAEC, the NECO, now this is a channel that you should what? That should tune out to, of course, do well to subscribe so that you get to see my videos back to back. The videos are usually short, but I make sure that I go straight to the point so that you get to understand questions like this and other questions that you come across in the examination. Now, I have a question here that I want us to analyze. Remember, this video is not about the answer alone. It's trying to analyze each of the options and knowing why the answers are like that. So quickly, let's jump into the business of the day. Now, look at this question. They said coal gas is made. Now, look at it. Coal gas now is made of carbon dioxide, hydrogen, and dash. That means coal gas is a constituent of what? Of gases. That's one thing you should know, that coal gas is a constituent of what? Of gases. Now, they are trying to tell us that what are the three major composition of what? Of coal gas. Of course, they're giving you two. And what are the two? They said carbon dioxide is there, hydrogen gas is there, and of course, one of these options. Now, there's one thing we must know practically where coal gas is gotten from. Obviously, coal gas is gotten from where? From coal. Now, when coal is heated in the absence of air or oxygen, now that process is what is called what? Destructive distillation. Destructive distillation. Now, what's destructive distillation? The process in which a substance is heated in the absence of air. Now, that substance must not necessarily be coal, but in this case we are using coal. So wood can be heated destructively. That means can be heated in the absence of what? Of air or of oxygen, if you like. Now, if coal is heated in the absence of air, it's going to form what? Coke. Plus, it's going to form coal gas. It's going to give me coal tar, and of course, it's going to give me ammoniacal liquor. Now, this question have come out in the WAEC examination before. They asked in the exam, they said, what constituent of coal can be used as what? As fertilizer. Now, the answer there obviously is what? Is ammoniacal liquor. Now, there's another question that came out in the exam. They said, which constituent of coal can be used as a fuel in the blast furnace? Of course, that question, that answer there is what? Is coke. Now, coke is one of the constituents of coal that can be gotten from coal. How? By destructive distillation of what? Of coal. Now, let's come back. Now, another thing that you must pay attention to, remember, our target here is coal gas. We're trying to look at coal gas, like what is the constituent of coal gas? That's our target. But there's one thing that we must know or put at the back of our mind again, is that these coal are of different types. Now, we have what we call the what? The pit coal. Let's analyze it. We have what we call the lignite coal. There's what we call the bituminous coal. There's what we call the what? The anthracite what? The anthracite coal. Now, these are the different types of what? Of coal. Now, this anthracite coal is regarded as the purest type of coal. Why? It contains 95% carbon. You must put that at the back of your mind. Anthracite coal contains 95% what? Carbon, and it is also regarded as what? As hard coal, while bituminous coal is known as what? As soft coal, while lignite coal is known as brown coal. Now, remember, put this information at the back of your mind. Remember, we are still trying to analyze coal gas, but like MOSJARO usually do, I like to touch all areas so that when you come across questions like this in the exam, you know how to fire it and how to shoot it down. Now, coming back, remember, our target is coal gas. Now, automatically, we have known where coal gas is formed from destructive distillation of what? Of coal. That means to heat coal in the absence of air. And again, we already know that coal gas is not the only constituent that is gotten from that distillation of coal. That I can also get coal. I can get coal gas, and I can get what? Coal tar and ammoniacal liquor. Now, this ammoniacal liquor is what is used as what? As a fertilizer. Can be used as what? A fertilizer. Now, coming back to this, now let's now analyze what are the constituents of coal gas. Now, coal gas is made of, quickly, let's bring it out here. Now, coal gas is made of what? Of carbon dioxide, is made of hydrogen gas, and of course it's made of what? Of methane. Now, that is the answer. So obviously the answer here is what? Is D. Now, I want to bring your mind to something again. Now, this methane is the second most abundant constituent in coal gas. Now, you now ask me, MOSJARO, what then is not the most abundant constituent in coal gas? Is hydrogen gas. It makes up about 40 to 50% of what? Of coal gas. Now, followed by what? Or followed by methane, which makes up about 20 to 35% of what? Of coal gas. Now look at those two statements I made. The most abundant constituent of coal gas is hydrogen gas, while the second most abundant constituent of coal gas is what? Is methane. Now these are not the only constituents of coal gas, but they are the major components. Now we also have carbon 2 oxide, and obviously we have what? Nitrogen. Now you can see where the option becomes very, very dicey. Now nitrogen is also in coal gas, but it's not in high amounts. So that's why we choose methane as against what? As against nitrogen. But peradventure, maybe we're not having methane in the option. Our answer would have been what? Be nitrogen. But nitrogen makes up a very little amount, about 3 to 15%, very small amounts compared to what? Compared to methane. Remember, we also have carbon 2 oxide in what? In coal gas. So the answer there is obviously what? Is obviously methane. Now I've analyzed this nitrogen, and of course air. You know that air is a mixture of gases on its own. There's a video that I've done which you should go through that analyze constituent of air as a mixture and how I can remove those what constituent. Now of course, you know, again, one thing must know about argon is that argon is the most abundant noble gas in what? In air. Now I'm trying to make the video as short as possible, but straight to the what? Straight to the point. Now look at what we have analyzed. What is coal gas, where it's gotten from, types of coal, and of course different names. We have brown coal, we have bituminous coal, and we have what? Anthracite coal. Now what is the use of all these constituents? Now coke can be used as a fuel in the blast furnace. Now, so ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls praying for examination, this is a channel that you must definitely try and tune into to get good information as regards your what? Exam. Now if you have missed other videos that I've done, it's just for you to go to my channel. Of course, it's MOSJARO. Very, very easy. Subscribe, and of course you get to see more and more videos. Now other videos on biology is coming up shortly. Stay tuned, and of course on your subscription and notification button. My name is MOSJARO, critically acclaimed. Of course, I'll see you in my next videos. Now this question was gotten from jam questions, one of the jam question anyway, and you can see these and other questions in my effective compendium, which is very, very, very precise. And this book is all about points and questions for each chapter. Now if you want to get or lay your hands on this book, all you have to do is to send me a DM, and of course my number is on my channel there. You can send me a DM anywhere you are in Nigeria. You can get a copy for yourself. It's very, very important for those of us that are preparing for what? For JAM, and of course for XSCE. So I'll see you in my next video. It's also available in biology too. In case you need a copy, send me a DM. Thank you very much.